Israelite family, shalom, shalom, coming to you again. Really quick video series. I want to address some statements made by Jabari on Starnetta TV. I want to also say shout out to Starnetta and HOK. Shout out to brother Jabari, Jabari Osase, that is. There was a statement made on Starnetta TV early this week by brother Jabari, where he stated that the people of the Torah practice what we call circumcision by mouth, which in Hebrew is Metzizah bepe. That was fallacious. I'm not sure why he didn't just ask those who know Torah in the community what was our thoughts on it, but I get it. There's definitely an agenda to attack the Bible. I mean, that's absolutely clear. So why would him or anyone refer to us? They will simply launch the attack and then wind up just being ignorant or looking foolish. So I want to just straight up address the claim. The claim is that you can open the Talmud and the Mishnah and see where the codifiers refer to the practice of circumcision, but to be more specific, the practice of wound care or wound treatment for circumcision as Metzizah bepe. That's incorrect. You can start with a book known as the Mishnah, codified in the 2nd century by Rabbi Yehuda HaNasi or Rabbi Judah the Prince. That's the oral Torah. That comes to final redaction or codification by the 3rd century Common Era or AD. Then we have the Babylonian Talmud, which comes to final redaction by the 5th century AD. European Jews convert to what we call Judaism by the year 740 AD. You can find a citation for that in Shlomo Sand's book entitled The Invention of the Jewish People. He's an Israeli professor currently teaching at Tel Aviv University, and in his book, The Invention of the Jewish People, he states unequivocally that the year of conversion for European Jews into the religion known as Judaism today, that began in the year 740 AD. Having said that, let me move on. Jabari says that the Hebrews and the Hebrew Israelite community do not want to acknowledge their traditions and customs of old. And he says while he doesn't believe that any of us practice this today, we can't escape from the fact that it was practiced. Brother Jabari, you should literally come and join my Torah class. I teach a Torah class every Tuesday from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. You are very welcome to sit down in that class as a student and learn, because what you spoke on Starnetta TV was absolutely ridiculous. The term Metzizah is used in the Mishnah to refer to how wound care is approached for circumcision. And by wound care, I mean, guys, circumcision is a whole surgery. So the sages of the oral tradition stated that once this surgery is performed, there are certain procedures that must follow it, or else infection will set in. And in fact, if the person doing the circumcision, performing the circumcision, which we refer to colloquially as a mohel, if he does not practice the proper wound care techniques outlined in the oral tradition, he can lose his post, i.e. he can lose his job. So let's be extremely clear on that point. The term metzah or metzizah, it does not mean to suck out by mouth. It simply means to wring out, to suck out, or to draw out. It does not mean by mouth. That comes much later as a practice among European Jews in a work known as the Shulchan Aruch, produced in the 18th century AD or Common Era, which is the 1700s. And that is the first time in history that we refer to circumcision and the wound care as Metzizah bepe, by mouth. Be in Hebrew means with, and mouth is pe. Bepe means with the mouth or by mouth. So Metzizah bepe means to draw out, to suck out, or to remove by mouth. That is not something that we can find in the oral tradition. Let's be absolutely clear about that. The oral tradition does not refer to Metzizah bepe. The oral tradition simply says that you can draw out the impurity, you can squeeze out the impurity, and you can do so using a gauze bandage and cumin. That's what the oral tradition says. And as proof of that, I'm actually going to refer to Professor Marcus Jastro's Dictionary of the Talmud and Targumim. We're going to go to page 825, where you'll see that the highlighted portion in yellow is going to define for you exactly what Metzizah means. The root is matzah or metzi, and it means to squeeze, to wring out, especially biblically, the wringing out of the blood of birds in the bird sacrifice. The wringing out of the blood of birds in a bird sacrifice. Nowhere in our history is that performed using our mouth. Again, the term Metzizah refers to drawing out or squeezing out blood. That's it. The method for how that's used is not described. That can be performed today with a suction. That can be performed today with a gauze. That can be performed a number of ways. European Jews elect to perform it with their mouth. They began this as a practice in the 17th century because the author of the Shulchan Aruch stated that it was tradition among European Jews to use their mouth to perform this act. However, the Oral Torah says you use a gauze bandage or pad and you use cumin. You never use your mouth. So I think Brother Jabari owes the Hebrew community an apology, and I think that Brother Jabari should issue that apology as soon as possible, because he ignorantly and fallaciously charged the entire Hebrew community with having come from ancestors who performed this act. And he said that he acknowledged that he doesn't believe any Hebrew Israelites practice this today, but we can't escape the fact that our ancestors practiced it. Jabari, that was sloppy scholarship. From what I was told, you're a Cornell University grad with a master's degree and you're pursuing your PhD. All you had to do was ask credible people who actually know. You didn't even have to go to the Israelite community. You could have went to European Jewry and simply asked them, Metzizah be'peh, by mouth. Is that mentioned in the Talmud? Metzizah be'peh, by mouth. Is that mentioned in the Mishnah? They have to tell you no, because it does not originate there. It originates almost 1700 years later in a work known as the Shulchan Aruch, produced by European Jews. And it is there for the first time in history that you can find the term Metzizah, which means to draw out or to suck out or to squeeze out, be'peh, by using one's mouth. With that being said, Biblical Hebrew 101 and Biblical Hebrew 102, I hold those classes Mondays and Wednesdays. I have a Torah class on Tuesdays. All of my classes are from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can sign up for my classes by going to my website, zionlex.com, or you can email me at zionlex@gmail.com. With that being said, everybody have a beautiful day, and we bring scholarship back. Shalom.